Back 9 Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back 9's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back 9 Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley,
who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockovic. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Thursday, January the 8th, 2026. And yes, it is still college football season with the CFP semifinals starting tonight. Bock, how are you doing?
Oh, not too bad. How could you be bad? Like you said, a big-time game tonight. You've got a chance to claim at least a share of the title here this evening. So make sure you make the right pick as we get into it. But yeah, lots of news. We missed you yesterday, but glad to have you back.
Well, Bock, I had some procedures done on my mouth yesterday, and I tell you what, this is the best I probably felt in a couple of years. You know, once you get that hurting tooth out your mouth, I probably didn't tell you, but I was probably hurting for the last 2 months when I talk about that tooth. And you can see me over here sometimes making these weird faces because, you know, I was shaking it loose. But now, you know, I thought I could do it by myself. But when I seen how long that tooth was yesterday at the dentist's office, I said, there's no way.
Now, what strategies did you use? Because you did tell me you tried to get it out a few times.
Pushing it with my tongue. Pushing it
wiggle
over
it out.
And try to wiggle it till it breaks off or got loose enough to just, that wasn't going to work, Bob. Yesterday, I felt like I really realized how old I was yesterday when I talk about my pain level. I don't have any pain level anymore. I cried. He took my black shirt. He took the manhood out of me. When you talk about the dentist, man, he didn't give me a chance to grip onto something. He just went straight in there.
Oh yeah.
Just like a Viking, man. It hurts, Bock. I was very tender when I said when I left there, but I feel better today.
Yeah, so it was a long tooth. That's interesting. But I mean, there's no easy way to do it.
One of my back molars.
Oh yeah.
So they showed me the X-ray. Not the prettiest thing when you talk about teeth, but in the back of my mouth, I'll probably gonna have to. I don't know, man. It didn't look good.
Well, did they give you the shot to numb it? That was the worst part.
I thought he gave me the shot to numb it. It felt numb. My lip felt big, but. You know, when he went in there, it didn't feel numb.
You still felt it.
I felt it. I felt
a bit,
it.
Yeah.
I felt it. It's like trying to drill a screwdriver in the wall.
Yeah.
Or trying to get a screwdriver out the wall. He went in and he had to get it 2 times because it was one tooth and then the side piece that broke off was still stuck in there.
Oof.
So he pulled it out and I said, okay, that's great. I looked at it. I said, oh my God. And then he went into the other one, Bock. And I wasn't prepared.
So are we talking about legitimate tears here?
Legitimate screams of horror.
Oh,
You know, it's like watching Nightmare on Elm Street and somebody scares you. You know, it's like you in the ticket by yourself. And you know when you unlock the doors on Sunday?
Yeah.
And if you go in the back and somebody pop out on you, what's your reaction, Bob?
Probably screaming like a little girl.
Okay, then. That's what I did.
Fair enough.
That's what I did. Who is this? Mr. Worldwide and Fall Book said, did you replace it with a gold one? No. No, it's
no
not,
replacement team.
It's not $19.99. I'm not putting in gold in my mouth. My mom had gold in her mouth all her life. She's got gold outliners under her teeth.
Okay.
So I'm not a gold person. I'm just gonna be toothless person if I don't watch it. So, but I'm back, Bock. I'm talking better, and I'm ready to get this show started.
Well, it's too bad, and we do. By the way, we're working on some technical difficulties to get the video up. So we'll be able to see.
There's no video of me. No.
Not yet.
Oh man, the most prettiest guy at the ticket.
That's right.
And I can't even get my face shown on it.
Well, that's all right. We'll work on it, and I know that they'll draw a lot of women to the video stream. So,
Bock, now before we start this show, we're gonna talk about a lot of things that happened the last couple of days. We're gonna talk about the quarterback pickup we got, and some more guys we picked up. We're going to talk about DeMond Williams Jr. situation, which sickened me to death when I talk about this is probably what college football needed. Somebody to try to take advantage of a school. And this is what this kid did, I think. I think once you sign something, you're liable to do it. I mean, this is real world money we giving you. So you got to be real world people.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it starts where we can't really call them student athletes anymore. We have to go beyond that and probably go with amateur because something has to be done about, signing papers and not living up to the expectations. Like us, once we sign for jobs, and if we take their money, they're going to want it. They're going to want the performance out of.
Yeah.
So, it's like us doing the job at the ticket. I mean, this is our job every day to come in here and not redo sports, but talk about episodes of sports that happen. And this is one of the episodes that I think that this is going to be really costly for him in the University of Washington.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people are saying this is what needs to happen, right? You need people, if you're not going to set boundaries, then you're going to have somebody that's going to continue pushing it. And eventually we're going to get to a point where, okay, this is not okay. And certainly it's not, right? I mean, how are we going to do this? Nebraska, obviously with their own quarterback carousel, went through something, I want to say similar, but had, a quarterback that at least for 24 hours we thought was in place, didn't get it signed, right? So that's kind of the difference there. DeMond Williams did sign with Washington. But, again, it's like, throughout all of this, and again, I always want to bring it up with the transfer portal. A lot of the news kind of goes into all these kids are selfish, all these kids only want money, all that sort of stuff. About 80% or whatever it is for Nebraska is coming back. So, keep that in mind as we talk about it. But it allows those people to kind of push the boundary. And again, it's more often than not, it's going to be the quarterback position or guys at the top, as Jay Foreman was kind of saying the other day. The 1 to 2% of the players out there in the transfer portal. So it is absolutely fascinating. Now you've got this conversation going of, well, can Washington force him to keep his word? Do you want DeMond Williams is a great quarterback, so you obviously want him, but you want him playing against his will at Washington, or how do we kind of arrive to something here? And on his part, again, you do go to the the fact that he signed and try to move on from there. But reportedly he's getting upwards of $2 million more as an offer out there. So he's not necessarily happy with his deal. Maybe he can get out of it. They've talked about maybe him walking on somewhere. Maybe that can kind of change the language of the contracts rather than getting a scholarship. But it is an absolute mess, as the NCAA always is. And we'll see if it gets to court or how we're going to figure this out, how long it's going to last. The interesting thing here too, is that I believe he's got similar agent representation as Nico Iamaleava. So it seems to be
his agent dropped him.
Yeah.
Well, the agent dropped him. Let me see. Is this the same guy right here when we talk about it? Because I just read something a little while ago that his agent quit. So here's what he said. Doug Hendrickson,
Okay.
Wasserman Football cuts ties with Williams. He said, I had made the decision to end my reposition of Damon Williams Jr. effectively immediate due to philosophical differences. Damon is an incredible talent, and we wish him and his family the best in their future.
Wow. Bob, that's just within the last hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, Bob. The agent doesn't want anything to do with this kid after you did this. I mean, Bob, understand this. Damon Williams Jr., the starting quarterback for Washington Huskies, signed a new revenue sharing contract with the school last week. With the combination of revenue sharing and NIL deal pushes the total value of the deal to $5 million for the 26th season, Bob. $5 million.
Not a bad living.
$5 million, and you want to tell me, oh, I want to just because somebody else now
somebody's offering $7 million.
That's okay, but you signed the paperwork,
right? Yeah.
I don't care if it takes you 2 years. Either you're gonna play or you're gonna fight me for 2 years in court trying to get your eligibility or something, Bob. Because now the NCAA has to step in this. Something, this has to happen. I don't think it's supposed to happen to a quarterback or any player like this, but this is something we needed to happen. We need some kind of structure in college football.
Yeah. I mean, that is the as messy as this situation is, as hard as it is to see what's going to come out of it. Keep in mind, Washington, again, is with their stance of it is they're prepared to pursue legal action to enforce the terms of the contract. And this could lead to, according to Bruce Feldman, to a messy debate over the circumstances surrounding Williams' status. Again, so it's not ideal for Washington, obviously, but it will at least push us. Again, it's the boundaries. If we've got to figure out where the guardrails we talk about is. How do you what if somebody is pushes that, and that's what we're seeing here. So hopefully it leads to something better for the sport. But it's just sad that the sport is in such a tough chaos and spot that that it's going to constantly be tested, probably every offseason, with somebody trying to get around the system that's barely put together to begin with.
I always supported players getting paid, Bach, but some things I can't support in this part of college football is the way you let kids go by trying to go to schools and leaving for money. That's why we need a regulator, Warren G, the regulator. So this is what I think we need. We need a commissioner. We need them to come up with rules. We need them to come up with, what they call it, bargain points not bargain points, but, a minimum and a maximum of what kids can make. This is getting ridiculous when kids play all 4 years just to go to the NFL. And look, Shedeur Sanders only making 4 years, $5 million, and now you can stay in college. I wish I could stay in college 30 years now if I knew that they was going to pay people this much to stay in college. Like bargain, like this is a war of athletes.
It is interesting. Again, you can, especially getting to that point where the Sam Levitts of the world, the Brendan Sorsby's, guys that would be kind of slotted down in the draft, but would make great college football players are making much better decisions by staying in college. The frustration again from there is that they're not necessarily doing that by being loyal. It's just going out there to the bidding process. Carson Beck, probably much of the same way this past season happened for him, and it's turned out well. So if you like the college football game, it is interesting with, players being paid and all that with the NBA in college football, that I think it helps kind of keep your stars around to a degree, or at least those borderline guys where, hey, you know what, if at some point I just want to, I want to make some life-changing money or do something, so you had to jump to the NFL, even if you're a junior, there's more in front of you. But you just want to get that opportunity. So now you're getting more of that, but the problem still is kind of familiarity with who's in town, right? And all these names jumping around. It's just tough. In Nebraska, playing the part just like every other school, bringing some new guys in. They've got a new edge rusher in Anthony Jones, who will have played at 5 different schools, in all of them in the Big Ten. So it's definitely a different, day and age, a different adjustment to the sport. Of course, some people are going to like it. I mean, again, back to your statement, I agree with you. There always was a lot, there always should have been payment to the players. At some point when the business became bigger than just a scholarship and what it's worth. But again, you go back to that and you go through, okay, is Emmett Johnson worth the same as the 4th string tight end? So, you kind of get into those conversations. And so that's what the rev share was supposed to kind of be about. And I think a lot of teams, or at least the structure that I think is pretty good, is kind of have a baseline number. And that baseline number doesn't have to be big, $60,000, $100,000, whatever you get to. Just a baseline for a majority of your team to at least get paid, and then, the heavy bidding afterwards. When
you started the NIL, you're supposed to have some rules in place. You never should have let it be in the NIL Wild West. That's what it is now.
Yeah.
It's whoever gets the most money for the services. It's like Sam Levitt getting coated by all these schools. Sorsby, $5-6 million at Texas Tech. We're going to talk about Texas Tech too, because whoever their general manager is, Bock, I would love him here, because they are building a portal dynasty over there where they're at. Let's go to break, and when we come back, we'll talk more Nebraska football, college football playoffs, and Eric talking about part-time Farley is back. I'm the only one who hasn't been on vacation in a year. But guess what? That's coming to a short, because I'm going on vacation January 19th for 6 days. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock The Blackshirt. We'll be right back.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes the complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out on mynutritionauthority.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are powered
by
Bauer,
infrastructure,
Bauer,
underground,
correct,
excavating.
Man, it feels so good when you can talk better, Bock. And I think this is the live point of our show because we're going to get better and better because my mouth is going to get better and better. Culligan J, I love what you said right here. He said, that's ridiculous. 5 different schools. I don't find this new version of college football interesting, and I'm really uninterested in what Nebraska does next year because I won't even know that team. He says, this is why I really never liked the accusation of Dylan was because we already knew he wasn't loyal and wouldn't stay for 4 years. You got a point right there because me and Bock just had a conversation about not knowing people on the team every year. And it's just like with the Dylan situation. What are you going to do with all these 15 jerseys that's all around Lincoln? You know, you never get to know these kids. They don't stay long. You know, when we played Tommy jersey, 15.
Yeah.
You knew Tommy was going to be here years. Now, you just might as well just get a blank Nebraska jersey with some peel-off numbers, Bob. You know what I'm saying? Like some stick them on your, you know, because these kids are no loyal than the coaches, and we try to. I don't think we put it on parents. I think we just put it on greed from every side of the ball. When you talk about it, Bob.
Yeah, again, I don't know if this is anybody's singular problem. Again, at some point, the NCAA could have got ahead of this thing and implemented it, and maybe kind of use it. But again, all this is it's just kind of a mess. I mean, all these athletic departments are supposedly nonprofit or supposed to be, and there's obviously funds and government stuff that comes in from how much you can get going there, and depending on what state or private university, all that stuff. So the point is just it's much bigger than just the football team, right? And so it is a mess. But I do think it again at a certain time. I think if you would have said, "Hey, we'll give every player $30,000 in a scholarship, and then the potential to make money off their name," then that would have done a lot better. If you did that 10 years ago, than waiting until the very last minute, kind of let it play it on court and say, well, then fine, then do whatever you want, because the NCAA has their hands tied. So it is not great for the sport. It's an adjustment, right? College football. And I get it. And people might get frustrated with the constant complaining and that sort of stuff. But other people are right on board. So, I mean, it is to us, obviously here in Nebraska, college football is near and dear to our hearts. There's always been changes throughout it. Some people view, certain changes, college football playoffs, that sort of stuff as positive. But to your point, as far as connecting to the individual players, I mean, you got to get throwback jerseys, basically. I mean, because those are the guys and knew, stuck around and were Huskers. At this point, it's tough. And I don't know. I think it's always funny in the pros, obviously, somebody spurns your team. See a lot of people going out there and burning, their jerseys. Would you do that to a 20-year-old kid like Dylan? I don't know. I don't know how many number 15s, what's going on with those jerseys, shirt jerseys, all that sort of stuff. That was a very popular pick among Husker fans. And I bet we'll still see a few linger around, but hopefully, I don't know if especially if it's got the Raiola name to it, you probably paid a pretty penny for that. And
just get a Nebraska jersey with Nebraska on it. You don't have to get the numbers.
Right,
just get the mash hole one and just have Nebraska on it.
There you go.
Because you never know when that kid is going to leave. You never know what's going to happen.
Or a throwback 43 with Farley on the back. That'd be always a good one. Maybe you can get some.
No, Toby says stay out of the 90s. He wants us to stay out of the 90s. I don't even care about the 90s when we talk about football today, because we know the 90s would never exist, because in the 90s we had loyalty. These kids don't have loyalty, and it starts at the top, not the bottom. Starts at the top, Bock, with the coaches.
Well, and that whole, going back to the 90s, again, you go back to that was the best for Nebraska, right? I mean, so why not aim toward the standard? Why not, but as far as like, again, we go through it, the comparison to where Nebraska is now and in the 90s is completely different. I mean, so there is, some truth, but you also got to celebrate your history. Otherwise, what do you, what are we going to hang up as far as banners and excitement over the last, 10, 20 years? There's not much there. So, I mean, I get it. That's always going to be a part of it. But when you have that much success, that's going to kind of always be a shadow over the team.
Yeah, Trey says, will Farley ever get over the 90s? No, I won't.
No.
I'm going to show my granddaughter some of the 90s film when I get to see her next week. We're going to sit down and watch 90s football all day. I'm going to give her the 90s day. So, I would never throw away the 90s as long as I can show it to my grandkids and show them that, hey, your grandpa was one hell of a football player.
It's just sad that it's gone that way. Again, I started here at the Ticket in 2013, right after graduation. And there's a big talk about, like, will the players remember, because you're kind of getting to that age in 2013 where players are 18 or so. And so, they were like born in 95. And so you're kind of thinking, well, do they even remember when Nebraska's, was good? And, now 13 years later, it's like when the kids were 18, it was like when they were born, it was the Callahan era. So further along, maybe they were starting to look around and pay attention to college football in the Pelini era. But there's just not much for the current kids to go back to. And so I get that, right? And it won't land with everybody, but the goal is to get back to conference championships, to get back to national championships. When was the last time Nebraska did that? The 90s. So it's going to stick around. We're always going to celebrate the 90s, celebrate the 70s, celebrate the 80s. And hopefully again, you can get back to that level. But when we look at these teams tonight, and I know people have said this before, but when you look at a Miami and an Ole Miss, that's the type of competition that you would hope the 90s Huskers or back in that era had, where they're one of the top 4 teams coming down to it. And it just, those teams look like they would give Nebraska the business right now.
If you took history out of everything we learned in life, Bock, we'll be lost.
Yeah.
We'll be lost. You got to have history.
Yeah.
Not just in sports, but in general, you have to have history. In what part? Eric says, hey, Farley, if you had a time machine, what decade would you go to? The 90s. No, 1975.
Why's that?
I'll freeze my egg and I'll hatch it right about now. So I can be one of these NIL babies.
I was going to say, maybe you could have, like the time machine might take you somehow get your, prime self to this current age.
Yeah. I take my prime self to this current age.
I mean, it's just, and that's why, again, I feel a little bit bad, for yourself and players you and 96, if the transfer portal was around and NIL was around, my goodness. What kind of opportunities you would have?
Well, the cost of living was cheaper back then. People talking about 90s. I still talk about Lawrence Taylor to this day. If you want to know when I talk about, I would rather talk about a guy like Lawrence Taylor to talk about the 90s, because when I first was introduced to football and watching guys like Lawrence Taylor and Walter Payton, those was guys you wanted to play. Those guys you was in your backyard throwing the ball up wanted to be. Walter Payton. Everybody wanted to be Sweetness. Everybody wanted to be Lawrence Taylor, until you find yourself in that predicament when you learn how to play football, and then you want to make a name for yourself, Bob. So I understand what these kids mean, but you have to look at the past before you get to the future. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care about what people think about why we always bring up the 90s. We won. I mean, it's just, we can get a team. If we can get a team like that in 2025, the 90s would never be talked about again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You need
until Nebraska learns how to win on a constant level. You're always going to hear about the 90s. Sorry, it's not my fault.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, too. A cigar guy says, I still wear my double nickel jersey and Down Alexander jersey. How about that? Those are some pretty good jerseys. They're just get to an age, I think. And I'm not some fans will stand over here, well, you can't do this at a certain age. But you do feel a bit silly getting a jersey of a college guy when you're like 35, my age or something like that. Maybe some people don't. But so there's always that last jersey that you get. For me, it was Nate Swift. So I like to hear that Dan Alexander. It's always, it's just kind of some random Husker along the way where you're like, yeah, that's what I've got. Unfortunately, I don't have my Swift anymore because it got old and stuff. So I don't even know what one I have now. There's a lot of circulating, like you mentioned, the Dylan Raiolas. They're going to be everywhere. They're going to be circulating kind of at Goodwills and stuff like that, much like the Rex Burkhead ones. Those ones never left. You can still see, 22s everywhere. So
yeah, I just get a blank Nebraska jersey with no number on it.
Yeah,
that's it. And put your name on the back of
it. Yeah, customize your own.
You don't have to put anybody's number on it because nobody's loyal enough to stay here.
Yeah.
All right, Bock, I know I missed some stuff yesterday. I guess we can go to break, and when we come back, we'll catch up on Nebraska portal talk from yesterday that y'all had, and I'll break down the new quarterback, like what I see as of right now. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the black shirt. We'll be right back.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
93.7 the Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: scattered rain showers likely throughout the day. It'll be cooler and breezy with the high around 40. Tonight, continued rain showers with a wintry mix and snow possible, a low around 28. And tomorrow, a slight chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy and breezy, a high near 40. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can make this your strongest year yet. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Dana Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Change begins with you. Join a weight loss medication study at Solarion and earn cash in the process. If you are 19 to 65 years old with excess weight to lose, you may qualify. Participants could earn up to $22,750 for their time. Study includes 1 2-night stay, 1 3-night stay, and 38 returns. Learn more at helpresearch.com/flamingo or call 866-213-2965. Weight loss not guaranteed.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
January is your reset button. This January 10th, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping in Lincoln is kicking off our 10-week challenge. We combine high-energy kickboxing, powerful strength training, and simple, proven nutrition to deliver real results in just 10 weeks. For a limited time, get $150 off when you enroll today. No gimmicks, just coaching, accountability, and a community that pushes you to win. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Visit fxblincoln.com and start your strongest year yet at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. 2 locations, South 40th and Yankee Hill, North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, changing lives 10 weeks at a time.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. think you've got what it takes. Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Bock, I don't even care about the 90s anymore. You know why?
Why's that?
Only thing I want Nebraska to do is win. Before I take my last breath on this great earth that we're on, I just want Nebraska to win. That's it. I mean, only thing these generations know, these kids know is 7-4, 7-6,
5-7,
5-7.
Best 3-9 team of all time.
The Park Tart Bowl, the New York.
We haven't been there yet.
Yeah, whatever bowl they don't know.
Yeah. No Fiesta Bowls.
No Fiesta Bowls, no New Year's Day Bowl. They don't know anything, but they don't know anything about the 90s, though.
No.
I just want Nebraska to win. Give me one championship before I go. I'm happy.
There you go.
That's it.
That's what I feel about as a Husker basketball fan. That's why I'm so excited for this year. It's like one of my goals that I have no control over whatsoever in my life is just to see Nebraska basketball win a tournament game. They're in position, obviously, to very much make the
a lot of people say that, but you want them to go farther than that.
Well, sure.
The record, the things that they are doing this year deserves to be more than just win one game and be done. I mean, I think this team this is a no-name basketball team when we talk about it, Bob. Good in every spot. I mean, you like teams like that. This is not your usual Nebraska team. This is not a Michigan team or a Purdue team. You know, we're taking this thing to the new heights at University of Nebraska. It only makes things better for Fred in the university. I mean, we're probably the hottest team in the nation right now. I mean, you look, there's other undefeated teams, but Nebraska is getting that press because we never did it before. And I'm happy for this team. I'm happy the way they're doing it. If you're not happy for a team, a sport at the University of Nebraska, you're in the wrong school to be a fan of.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting, too. Obviously, we know their next game against Indiana in a little bit of role reversal, right? Historically, Nebraska now at number 10. Indiana fans are obviously going to be coming off the Oregon game from Friday night. So I don't know how happy or in tune they're going to be with that game. But yeah, I mean, it is Nebraska is the hottest team, at least by win streak, because of what they did at the end of last season. And again, it always kind of reminds you it's always darkest before the dawn, where Nebraska had that 5 game. I mean, the last time they lost, they had just come off 5 straight losses that pretty much kicked them out of the Big Ten tournament for sure, and kicked them out of the NCAA tournament as far as hopes go there too. But you know, but it's cool to kind of see as that win streak started, you know, with the Bryce Williams and Juwan Gary's of the world, and now, you know, bringing back the Rink Mass, the Price Stanford, what they did in the transfer portal, and the unbelievable start they've had. And to your point, yeah, I mean, I've got higher hopes than winning, you know, just one game. I think this is a team that, I mean, who knows what the ceiling is? We'll see as they continue throughout the year. But that's how rough it is as a Nebraska basketball fan. I'm 35 years old. I don't even understand what it's like to see my team win an NCAA tournament game. So just that, yeah, maybe I should have higher expectations, but just that is something I want to see. And I'm not taking for granted at all, by the way, because we see every year Nebraska might end up as the top 5 team in the nation this year. Doesn't mean anything when you play that one game in March Madness. So, you know, you see teams get knocked off all the time. So we'll see when it comes that day. But man, that will be, a chance to be a historic year. Already is a historic year, but to chance to take Nebraska out of that embarrassing spot, right, of being the only Power 4 team to not win a tournament game.
Well, I think it comes to an end this year, Bob.
I do too.
Well, Bob, like I say, I'm going to Indiana for a week. Should I wear my Husker gear? You know I am, Bob.
Yeah.
You know I'm taking all the Husker gear I can get in my.
How far are you away from Bloomington when you get there?
I don't think I'm far. I think like an hour.
Yeah.
I might go up there and talk to Kurt Signetti and pick his head if I can get in there.
I was gonna say that's a place to be. You might see Mark Cuban throwing out some dough. Maybe you could borrow a few bucks.
Yeah, Kurt Signetti wouldn't even let me in. He wouldn't even smile at me.
No.
Get that Husker gear off of your back before you speak to me.
Well, I mean, it's not like he feels too poorly about Nebraska. Remember, a lot of fans got frustrated that he said that they kicked our ass, and they did. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, but when we talk about football, they play actually when they play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Hard to beat two teams twice, Bock. So we're gonna. Georgia found that out the good way. I think Oregon found that out the year before that the good way.
Yeah.
So hopefully Oregon can do. I don't know who I'm picking yet, Bock. So don't.
Well, I can't wait. I mean,
pick my
again,
man.
it's the picks are coming down today. You can clinch a share at least of the title here tonight if you pick correctly, or even if you pick incorrectly and the text line picks along with you. So very good spot you're sitting in, and it could at least get your share wrapped up tonight.
I don't want a tie, Bock. We have to break this.
I know.
Yeah, I don't care if we have to go.
Oh, you mean if it ends in a tie? We'll find a way to tie break.
We'll have to do the Super Bowl or something.
Yeah.
All right, Bock, let's go to break. And when we come back, we're going to break down this transfer portal stuff that Nebraska's got going on. They got some new guys that I didn't hear about yesterday. So Bock's going to go through them, and I'm going to name some of the names that I like. All right, Bock, 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: scattered rain showers likely throughout the day. It'll be cooler and breezy with the high around 40. Tonight, continued rain showers with a wintry mix and snow possible, a low around 28. And tomorrow, a slight chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy and breezy, a high near 40. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations. MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now in our new time. We're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m. Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the number one fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. You're listening to Bock in the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome back to Bock in the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are on Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. Bock, give me some of the lowdown that you talked about yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's all transfer portal news from there. And in addition, today as well, edge rusher Anthony Jones, who has made his way around the Big Ten, will play at his 5th Big Ten school here at Nebraska.
Hold on. What did you say now?
Nebraska's newest addition to the portal is Anthony Jones via UCLA, and he indeed is playing with his 5th Big Ten school. In 2022, he started out at Oregon, and 2023 transferred then to Indiana. In 2024, he decided to go to East Lansing and play at Michigan State, where he had 25 tackles and 2 sacks. This past season, 20 tackles, a sack and a half for the UCLA Bruins, and is going to wrap it all up with a year here at Nebraska. So again, that is 5 schools, 5 Big Ten schools for the newest addition from the portal. Again, Anthony Jones, 6'5", 265 pounds, out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
I'll be damned.
He did it. He did what we all wanted to do in that video game.
He did more than the trifecta, Bob. He did more than that. Welcome aboard, young man.
Yes.
Welcome to Lincoln. You've been here before. I noticed that, but 5 different schools, Bob.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Bob, are you satisfied right now with what Nebraska has completed in the portal, and what more do you see that we need?
Yeah, I mean, I think, there is still work to be done, but obviously they targeted especially the linebacker room and the offensive line. I think they've plugged in now 2 starters or guys that you would identify as likely to be starters. You can have guys that push depth as well, but Brennan Black certainly from Iowa State looks to slide in as a starter. Tree Babalade from South Carolina is a guy that with his commitment was reportedly getting some pretty darn good money coming over from South Carolina. So you expect that to be for a starter, and he started, spot started for South Carolina as well. So, I think that's one of your biggest things they needed to get done out of the portal is shore up that offensive line. Obviously the quarterback, and we'll get your thoughts on Anthony Calandria here in a second. That's obviously a big get that you need when you only have one quarterback in the room. And for what I wanted, I wanted a veteran to come in and be able to kind of be your signal caller there, and that's what they did. Linebackers certainly got 3 of them, like we said, with Owen Chambliss, Will Hawthorne, and Dexter Foster. Both Chambliss and Foster very much guys that have played, and in Chambliss's case, played in Coach Rob Orch's system over there from San Diego State. So you get some familiarity there, like that as well with Dwayne McDouble from San Diego State, who actually even followed Coach Orch over from Idaho as well. So very much some system familiarity there. Maybe, as I see it, likely there as 2 starters coming over for the Huskers on the Blackshirt defense. Certainly needs some work to be done on the defensive line. And when you kind of like turn the page here, and we'll see. They've had a lot of young guys, of course, that I thought could help as they transition to a 4-man front. You can kind of see different guys fitting in. Keona Davis outgoing from the portal, so that's going to be a loss that they're going to have to make up. So that's one position I would definitely look at. And then running back, there's been a little bit of a movement toward getting a running back out of the portal here in recent days for Nebraska. Mekhi Nelson shined and flashed his potential there in the bowl game. I think we saw a little bit out of Mosey this year too. So that one's not absolutely detrimental in my mind that they get one. They're targeting a wide receiver, and he's crystal balled to come to Nebraska. So that's another position to kind of look for. But yeah, so far I think it's been pretty good. And then on the reverse side, you have to look at it too, especially these days as far as what's leaving the portal. And of course, Dylan Raiola is a big one there. But again, we can get into the conversation. Would you rather have Calandria or Dylan for this specific offense this upcoming season? I think there's a pretty good argument for either one of them. Malcolm Hartzog, a guy that wish you would have stuck around, obviously was hurt most of this past year, so not necessarily a loss in if you look at it from that way. And then Keona Davis, and then from another guy that you expected to be a starter. I think that's okay, because everybody else, and you certainly got 10 players there, 10 plus players hitting the portal, but everybody else it was kind of guys that were working their way on up the depth chart to try to get some playing time. With the one exception that I said that I do think hurts, and I want to get your thoughts on this, is Kenneth Williams. Now, he might not be a guy that projected to be one of the top running backs, but was all Big Ten. I think it was second team as a kick returner, and had a touchdown return. Made some big plays in games that Nebraska needed him, to make those plays in. And so, a guy with some straight line speed, maybe a lot of that had to do with Coach Eckler and how it was schemed up. But like they always say, you can't teach speed. And it was Nebraska's first kick return touchdown since 2017. So that is one, again, where, it's not going to pop off at you. It's not going to be one that that is going to be even talked about much, I think, once we kind of get into it. But again, he had some huge big time kick returns that really swayed the momentum in 2 games, that being Maryland and Northwestern, that were 1 possession games ultimately. So do you win those games without Kenneth Williams? Not sure, but that's another name I would look for, and especially when there's not much for Nebraska say this respectfully, not much for Nebraska to hang their hat on, right? Because they lost their final 3 games, by a significant margin. And we just kind of talk about it, and we have talked about it. There's no avoiding it. There's not much, with Emmett Johnson out the door. You got some strengths, some kids coming back at wide receiver. You could go back and say, well, the secondary was second in the nation, but you're kind of switching some stuff there. So, like I said, there's just not a whole lot of strengths to rely on, and special teams is one of those. And so you kind of lose a big part of that in Kenneth Williams, in my mind.
Yeah, that kind of hurts when you talk about that Kenneth Williams situation. I was happy, especially for a kid who walked on and played football in Lincoln his last year in high school. You would thought he would be more. I thought he would be more dedicated, Bock, when he did receive the scholarship, and I thought he would be a great special team player. I mean, you have to start somewhere, and special teams is a best way to start, especially for a guy who comes out of nowhere and. He wants to get on the field more. He wants to play more, and he's just a freshman or something.
I can double check what he was. Yeah, but it wasn't too deep into his career. Redshirt, no, sophomore.
Redshirt sophomore.
Yeah,
so I mean, he still had a couple more years. I mean, you hate to see kids like that leave, but the age with football and stuff. Hey, it's be hard to keep them.
Well, and again, too, it's just one of those stories that we're not going to see much of in college football moving into the future. And because obviously the walk-ons are being eliminated, you can still have them. We're going to remind people of that if you don't want to go the full scholarship route at 105. But for the most part, and especially how Nebraska's traditionally treated them, are kind of disappearing. So you get kind of these last few stories, and even those stories are a little bit, you just kind of have a sour taste in your mouth with where they're landing. I mean, I know James Williams didn't do anybody any favors with some of his tweets over this last offseason, but that's another guy along with Kenneth Williams over the last couple of years. When you look back and say, okay, well, what has Nebraska done as far as development or discovering folks, needles in the haystack? Those are 2 guys you could point to, but it's just frustrating in today's day and age. And again, you give them scholarships, all that sort of stuff. That there's still, even those guys are kind of looking for greener pastures at times. So a little bit frustrating. Get nothing against the kid. Maybe he wants to play a little bit more, or have a chance to play a little bit more as a running back out there. And pretty good to have that all Big 10 accolade next to his name when he puts himself out there. It's just it's not quite the walk-on stories we once had.
So the quarterback, Anthony, what's his name?
Colindrea.
He'll be a senior next year, would he?
Yes.
I watched film on him, Bock. Small guy, 5'11".
And it's Calandria, by the way. Nick was saying Colindrea, which was throwing me off the other day.
Calandria.
Yeah,
Anthony Calandria. Small guy, 5'11", 180. Very mobile, agile. What we need. Not afraid to sling the ball. Great arm I seen from UNLV. I'm kind of happy about this one. I'm not saying this is what we wanted at first, but you got a quarterback that's dual threat, does it at a fast pace. I can live with this pick, Bob. I can live with this one.
Yeah, I like it. Again, if you're again, you go back to the Kenny Minchie debacle that was obviously wasn't the first pick for Nebraska, but this more aligns with what I thought Nebraska needed. And I had said it, leading up to it as they're going to the portal, is I wanted a veteran signal caller. Obviously they're transitioning to more of an offense to rely on some legs. I mean, he brings that to the table. If you're looking at Calandria last year, I don't think there was one game where he had less than 16 yards, I suppose, which isn't great, but you just kind of go through it. 87 yards rushing against Boise State, 62 against Air Force, 59 against UCLA, 93 against Idaho State. So I mean, he's a guy that can bring that to you. And what does that bring for Nebraska? Obviously, they're not going to want to load up on it too much. He's again 6 foot, 205 pounds, but especially in the red zone where Nebraska struggled, that can be something that they can take advantage of his wheels. So there's a lot to like here. Obviously, with anybody coming from the Mountain West Conference, even though he was the player of the year there, you want to know how that translates to the Big Ten, because he didn't have the best start to his career, though he's got a lot of experience from his days at Virginia, but was very turnover prone as a Cavalier, and those Cavalier teams did not do very good as opposed to this past year. So, there is all that. Part of that, I mean, he was sacked 39 times in his last season at Virginia. That's always going to be tough for you. We kind of lived through that with Dylan Raiola as well, and that's with a guy that can scramble a little bit. So, part of that was probably on Virginia, but you hope that this year at UNLV, as we'll kind of bring up to full speed and get him ready for Big Ten play, was, by the way, did lead to, a lot of people want to point back to, hey, TJ Lateef led to that victory against UCLA. Well, now you got two quarterbacks on the roster that had victories against UCLA. Calandria led the Rebels to a victory over the Bruins, 15 of 21, 203 yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, 11 carries for 59 yards as well. So I don't even know. That's just jumping out to me now. I have to go back and compare that to what TJ did. Of course, TJ was on a team that, Big Ten, you would expect to be better than UNLV. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I think UNLV and Nebraska would have played a pretty close game if they played this year.
Yeah. Bock, what did Todd do to yesterday? You didn't tell me. Todd tried to imitate me yesterday.
Yeah, I was hoping that you maybe had heard that, but you obviously were busy yesterday getting your tooth taken out.
What did he do?
He was just he kind of had a deeper voice, was trying to imitate
Yeah,
you.
he won't come back on our show again.
Oh, you don't think so?
Nah, he's done. Power hour only. But here's one thing that you probably didn't know right here about your boy Anthony. December 15th, 2025. UNLV quarterback Anthony Colandrea,
yep.
Colandrea says he's staying with UNLV.
Yeah.
He told us that he doesn't want to deal with the transfer portal again, and that Coach Dennis has made a major impact in his life as a man in football. Fast forward 28 days later.
Good movie.
He's in the transfer portal. I like the quarterback. I think it's a great pickup. I would still like to see TJ Lateef get some action, or you have to ask him, like, okay, TJ, this is a 1-year rental. Would you rather back up or redshirt and get more experience and have more time? Because you got a younger kid coming in 27, and he's young. He's not going to come in as a freshman and start. Well, I mean, I think them days at Nebraska are not going to happen too much more, unless even the Dylan Raiola project didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's happened, I think, something like 6 times in Nebraska history and 3 times within the last 8 years or whatever it is. So that it might be trending that way if a new coach comes in. But one way or the other, again, I'm fascinated to see what this happens with TJ Lateef, and partially am excited for now because Calandria and TJ Lateef together make for a heck of a quarterback room. It's hard for a team in the position of Nebraska, right, to get too much quarterback depth. Now, if you go to the top end at Oregon, convincing guys to sit out for a year like a Dante Moore might be more doable. I'm pretty sure, they paid a pretty penny for him as well. But for TJ Lateef, it's just interesting to know where his kind of mindset is. I don't think Calandria committing to Nebraska necessarily means he's automatically the starter. They're going to have a competition. Calandria certainly should be the favorite, again, coming from the Mountain West and all the experience that he's had there. But for TJ Lateef, it's just this giant possibility of one way or the other, right? And he's got to be ready all along, depending on what he wants to do. Certainly getting a Big Ten win against UCLA, if he wanted to, maybe he could get some interest from the transfer portal. Certainly, I think he would, right? But hopefully that doesn't happen. And if he did want to do that, you would think be a little bit more advantageous to do it earlier in the process. But I mean, it just ranges from everything, right?
So
he's got to be ready to maybe redshirt, maybe jump in this year. Injury forced him into playing a big role, but it's just interesting that he can go from either competing for the starting job to redshirting next year. And again, you could play 4 games in redshirt still, so he could still do that as the backup quarterback here.
So you say we're going camp as code number ones?
I would think so. I mean, I think that you'd break it down pretty quickly. Maybe there would be a lean toward Calandria. I mean, I think that he's earned that. And again, that's what it goes back to is what did you earn? I think TJ Lateef earns a shot at the starting job. I don't think TJ Lateef earned the starting job. I think Anthony Calandria closer to earning the starting job, but it wasn't here, right? So player of the year in another conference is not a small deal, though. Because I see people on the text line too, or just some thoughts coming out of this is like, okay, this is just a straight up competition. I don't favor one or the other. I think Calandria has probably earned, if they did decide to go, start with him at the number one. But again, a lot of this has to do with what are you telling TJ? What are you asking of TJ? And if he at least wants a fair battle, then I think that's fair for what he's done. And if he sticks around to do that with him. So yeah, I'd put it that way, but I think you'd move pretty quickly. And we'll see. I mean, how that looks in the springtime.
All right, Bock, let's go to break. And when we come back, we'll break down some more of these portal guys. We'll still talk about the guys who's leaving and the guys who's coming in. We'll talk about linebackers too. I want to get my good perspective on that part. You get in the room better. Still got a couple of guys in here that's young, so we'll have to see how that goes. 93.7 Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt. Be right back.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with roof credit.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their Contact Us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
January is your reset button. This January 10th, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping in Lincoln is kicking off our 10-week challenge. We combine high-energy kickboxing, powerful strength training, and simple, proven nutrition to deliver real results in just 10 weeks. For a limited time, get $150 off when you enroll today. No gimmicks, just coaching, accountability, and a community that pushes you to win. Spots are limited, so don't wait. Visit fxblincoln.com and start your strongest year yet at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. 2 locations, South 40th and Yankee Hill, North 70th and Vine. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, changing lives 10 weeks at a time.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Text line, you got one more segment that we're going to do the pick 'em, so you guys stay tuned so we can get this going on and see how things are going to look out for y'all when we talk about the 2-game lead. All right, Bock, let's talk about the linebackers, Bock. How many we picked up?
3 linebackers so far. Owen Chambliss of San Diego State, Will Hawthorne of Iowa State, and Dexter Foster of Oregon State.
All right. Owen Chambliss, I think he's a solidified starter when you talk about guys that's coming in. This kid played on the San Diego State Coach Ewert's team last year. 109 tackles. It's hard to keep a guy like that off the field, Bob, when you look at his stats. Probably have to learn the hard way when we talk about Big Ten football. His production says he's ready But like I said, we seen guys put in this position before, and now we just have to see how he fits when it comes to defense.
Yeah, it's interesting. Nebraska reaching into the Mountain West to try to rebuild their program. We'll see how that kind of works. Mountain West, of course, by the way, if you remember, a lot of those teams, not including UNLV actually, but heading over to the Pac-12. But in this case, obviously if the San Diego State tie there, you get the leading tackler from San Diego State this past season, and you hope that translates, right? I mean, the Marcus Watson Trent experiment, if you will, would probably tell you that it's not necessarily the stats might not be the exact same, but we'll see with Jablus. Obviously, regardless of where you play, you have over 100 tackles, especially on a winning team. Then you probably got a bit of a nose for the ball. So I agree with you. I mean, he's going to be penciled in as a starter. 4 sacks this last year as well, so that shows that he can get to the quarterback as a pass rusher, and was an all-conference pick. So one of the leaders of that defense, the familiarity of playing that defense, again, along with potentially Dwayne McDouble. We'll see if he is a starter for Nebraska as well in the secondary, can certainly help. And he's got to be. I mean, he's got to be one of the bigger impact players of the portal this far for Nebraska.
Yeah, we have guys like Vincent Shavers who's returning. Hopefully a guy like Dawson Merritt. We didn't expect much from him last year, but he didn't redshirt. Christian Jones, who didn't play last year, so hopefully those guys can move up the charts and get some playing time, because you hate to see guys like that leave. But when I talk about Dawson Merritt, I thought he was a guy who could have took a red shirt last year, not very effective on the playing field, and I think coaches are just not saying they wasted these kids' time, but some guys really have to redshirt. So I thought Dawson Merritt would be one of those. But looking at what we have right now with Chambers and Shavers, and especially Hawthorne too, a guy who redshirted at Oregon State, this could be a good group of linebackers, knowing that we're only playing a 4-2-5. What we playing, 4-2-5?
Yeah, for a lot of the time. And again, you have to see what it looks like in the Big Ten. They might, against some offenses anyway, play more of the 4-3. But it is interesting too, because I think that jack linebacker position that we kind of think of as the edge rusher, probably going to be filtered out of this defense to a degree. So, you look at a guy like Dylan Rogers,
who's going to have to go who's put his finger in the ground now.
Could be. I mean, he's only 240 pounds. At least listed as that. We know, would have been a hard ask for Desan McCullough, probably, as DeMario Williams did this back in the day for Nebraska. You could definitely put him down in obvious pass rushing situations down there. So, but would they be every down defensive ends? I'm not sure. So they'll have to decide kind of what they want to do with those guys. Maybe there is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is still a position for that kind of edge rusher, jack linebacker that we've seen in the past. But as we kind of see it moving forward, that's another name that I would consider, though I'm not completely sure if he will be in that position. Jacob Bauer, of course, another name that was kind of getting a former walk-on that earned a scholarship, that was getting some playing time there toward the end. So we'll see. And then do they expect, we're not going to talk a whole lot about Will Hawthorne just because he hasn't played, but that's the guy that they originally targeted, redshirted last year at Iowa State. So I see that and look at that and say, okay, that's probably a long-term addition to the portal. Again, more often than not, you're going to be getting guys that you want to be able to help and contribute right away. There are a few examples every year or in most classes of kind of a long-term play as well there. That seems to be more of that, but he could come in and play. And then, Dexter Foster, who was leading Oregon State in tackles before his injury coming in, would be another guy that, again, that's more in the coming and play right away type of variety. So I think he'd be definitely factored into that mix as well.
Yeah, and when we talk about the linebackers from last year, Bock, not a good performance because of the poor play of the defensive line. I think we have to throw that in there. Being reached, being pushed all the way back to the linebacker spot was kind of damaging for that linebacker team, linebackers positions last year. especially having a Jack out there lining up as an outside linebacker. Not very good movement from Jack linebackers to be that outside because, of the containment push that we needed. But at the same time, I think we're having a guy like Chambers and Shavers. I mean, Shavers going to have to go out and earn these spots too. So, this is not a give me because you have a whole new defensive staff out there and they're going to break this down. I mean, we still have the same linebacker coach, but when it comes to picking who you want out there, I think the defensive coordinator will have a big say-so in the linebacker group.
Yeah, and I think it's a group again. There's a couple guys you figure to be, players that they're bringing in to compete right away. Again, Vincent Shavers, maybe not the breakout season that he was hoping for, but had played a lot of it injured. So you just between him and Dawson Merritt and Christian Jones, a lot of guys that Nebraska brought in either this past year or a few years ago that project down the line to be really good. Are they ready to take that next step, or do one of them or a few of them take that big jump? So I think you're in a healthy position in the linebacker room. But again, as with everybody kind of comes in with a little bit of a question mark, and you'd like to say that this is going to be the year. Maybe this is the defense where you start to produce some more linebackers for the next level. It's been a long time since Nebraska's really had, true prospects, for that. And it's not all about that. But again, whether it's the next level or all Big Ten play, that sort of stuff, linebacker was definitely a big part of any defense. And so any Blackshirt defense that's going to be fearsome, they're going to need some of these guys to step up. And that's what's going to be kind of throughout the defense. I don't know, unless they surprise us with some, big name or something out of the portal. As you said earlier, kind of with the basketball team, somewhat of a no-name basketball team, and to Rink Mass credits, he's kind of gaining more recognition around the nation. But this defense isn't going to have anything necessarily handed to him. I mean, as far as who's going to come in preseason All Big Ten, I don't know if there's anybody there. So they're going to have to work for it, and hopefully the new system allows some players to shine.
Yeah, I love competition. I think these guys need to learn that competition only makes you better. And that's one of the things that these kids don't get because they just want to put in a spot where it's just me, me, me. No, you need the competition to make you better and to also make the guy who's going against you in the competition better. I mean, I'd rather have two strong candidates than one strong one and one weak one. So, two is better than one when you say, especially with depth-wise, because a guy like Vincent Shavers, he was hurt most of the year, played with a big club on his hand. I didn't think he was fit to be. I'm not saying he was fit to be out there, but he couldn't really grab a person like he wants to. And being a linebacker, sometimes you have to use your hands to tackle, and doing it with one arm or that club, I didn't know if he was trying to club him upside the head or try to tackle him. But, you need both of your hands. And I think competition all around on this team will make this team better.
Yeah, and again, today's a portal edition. Once again, Anthony Jones from UCLA. I want to keep bringing him up because he's kind of the newest one there. And he looks to be a defensive end, like edge rusher, right? So 6'5", 265.
Great size.
Yeah, good size for a four-man defensive end. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go. I mean, I'm not singling Cam Linhart out, but when you got a guy like Noeli who showed splashes of what he can do, get another year up under his belt of coaching, and when you put this other defense in, I mean, just size-wise, this looks great. Now, the one thing I'm worried about is the defensive tackle spot, that we need to have a coach in place, and you need to get some players in.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because from the outside, like you're saying, Williams-Nwaneri definitely going to be there on pass rushing downs. Cade Petschak, I thought, has a future there as well. As a freshman, played 6'5", 265, so good size there. Again, Dylan Rogers, is he going to kind of move down there? Now you bring in Anthony Jones. So they've got some names there, but you're right. You still kind of look at, what's the middle of that defense?
Still need that run stopper.
Right.
That run stopper, that big guy. Yeah. That big hole plugger. I still think we need probably 6'4", 6'3", 300-pound guy in there that can, or 295, 290, who can really just, take some blows that really can demand a double team. I mean, I know what was his name now?
Petschak, yeah.
Petschak. He was okay last year as a freshman, but he didn't demand those double teams, and he didn't I mean, I would like to see these guys play more than 2 snaps and be out. So, I know the guy from San Diego State, he's going to want to stay on the field. I think that's great when players really play those 60 to 70 snaps and don't come out the game, because those are the type of players you need.
Yeah, and if you're looking at the inside right now, too, I think you're probably looking at Riley Van Poppel and Gabe Moore, at least for the depth chart that was released for the bowl game. Elijah Judy was at the top there. Of course, he's an outgoing senior. So Riley Van Poppel right now, 6'5", 295. Gabe Moore, 6'5", 290. Again, they're going to have some size in there, but you need some playmaking ability, and we'll see if that kind of comes about. Riley Van Poppel, RVP, a guy that, of course, single-digit number, all that sort of stuff. Flashed at times, and then flashed the other way at times as well. So, it's going to be about consistency and what they can put together. But to your point, though, too, is like, if you go back to a four-man line, sometimes you go back to, or ideally in my mind at least, go back to, a Malik Collins, Vincent Valentine type of situation where Valentine's kind of the big 325-pound space eater, and then you got kind of a thinner defensive tackle, and not by much, 310 pounds or whatever it might be, that also can eat up some space, but a little bit more agile and able to kind of move around. So obviously it would be ideal for to bring back Vincent Valentine and Malik Collins, but again, just size-wise, I think that's interesting. Nebraska did miss out on one of their bigger targets, that a defensive tackle that was in that category, transferring away from Kansas State. So we'll see. I don't know if that was kind of their one answer there, or if they've got more opportunities in the portal to go and get that size. But it does feel like they could still use that space here, because again, Riley Van Poppel gave more, I think, more fit into that category of maybe the second defensive tackle, not necessarily the nose tackle.
Yeah, Big House says 290 is not a good defensive tackle size. We need 315 plus. Yeah. I tell you, we do, man. I just want to see us win. So, I hope we can get these tackles in and get a defensive line coach in here in place so these guys can sign, because without a coach, you're not going to get anybody in here.
Yeah, that still is out there, right? There's no defensive line coach. Backward tap Matt Rule didn't save the day for the bowl game. So we'll see what they can do along that, and maybe if you go and get a guy, you can bring a guy or two in the portal.
All right, we're gonna do the pick'ems up next. We're gonna pick 2 games, ain't we?
Yeah, yep.
We're gonna pick the 2 games. All right, we're gonna get Kenny Winhite on the phone. Who's the Bock like to say the percentage guy?
You're actually leading in percentages again.
So. All right, so text line, get ready, because it's up next.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: scattered rain showers likely throughout the day. It'll be cooler and breezy with the high around 40. Tonight, continued rain showers with a wintry mix and snow possible, a low around 28. And tomorrow, a slight chance of snow, otherwise mainly cloudy and breezy, a high near 40. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket. And theticketfm.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
MWR, a local company of Lincoln, is proud to announce they are able to offer their own post-frame building packages in metal to anyone desiring a building, whether you're a contractor or a DIYer. They can install your building as always, and they offer multiple different rib profiles and loads of color options, including the wood grain metal at great competitive prices. You can inquire at mwrbuildingandfence.com or just draw your desired building and submit it in their contact us page, and they'll get back to you. Call MWR today at 402-540-8966.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, to brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt here. We are on from Monday through Friday from 1 to 3. This is the last segment. We have Jay Foreman and Austin Armin up next with Old School. Now, text line, Bock has a question for you now.
Yes, as we are coming down to it, it is the Final Four. Of course, I don't call it that, but the Final Four of college football playoffs coming tonight. Ole Miss in Miami and the Fiesta Bowl, and then Indiana, Oregon tomorrow night, which we're going to make those picks now. The text line, you're basically going to have to pick the opposite of Terrell, but you don't have to. I mean, you want to just go ahead and let it go, but we're gonna do this as fair as we can. So text line,
You get the pick still, Bob.
you can make your pick. I still make my pick. Kenny's gonna still make his pick. So we get it going. Kenny, by the way, just texting in.
I want Kenny pick first.
You want Kenny's pick?
The first game. Let's go. What's the first game?
The first game will be this evening. We'll get some music going as we normally do for our picks. The first game again will be this evening, Thursday night, Fiesta Bowl. Miami and Ole Miss. Miami is favored by 3.5. As I look at, make sure I get the right pick here. Kenny is going with Ole Miss. I had made my pick earlier today, and I also went with Ole Miss on the Adam Carricker Show. Text line, text in 402-464-5685. There is text. Don't look at it, Terrell. Did you look at it?
Yeah.
You already looked at it. All right. Well, Terrell, go ahead and make your pick.
All right, Bob. I got two helmets in
There you
front
go.
of me.
Yeah.
I have the Miami helmet. I have the Ole Miss helmet. And God darn it.
Oh.
I'm going with the U.
Oh, he's going with Miami.
I'm going with the U, Bob. The U.
There you go.
The U.
Which is good because the text line picked Ole Miss, so that at least gives them a chance here.
I'm going to give them a chance, Bob.
Give them a chance.
I'm going to give them a chance.
So if Miami wins tonight, you've got your share of the title all locked up. All right, let's get into tomorrow night's game then for our final pick for the national championship here. Of course, I lost my paper, but I should know by heart anyways. Indiana and Oregon, Friday night, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Hoosiers favored by 4. Kenny Wilhite texted in his pick. He's going with the Hoosiers. I, as well, will go along with Kenny. He's pretty close to you in that win percentage thing, so I'm just going to start piggybacking him. No, but I do think it is hard to beat a team twice, but I think this is the year of destiny for the Hoosiers. I'm going with Indiana as well.
Oh, boy. Google me. Google me.
Google you.
Google me. That's it.
You're going with Indy.
That's it.
All right. I'll write it in. Indiana gets the pick there as well. And it looks like the first text in from the text line went with Indiana. So we've got Indiana across the board here for this pick.
All right.
Which I believe already will then lock you in for at least a tie for the text line. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, Bob.
There we go.
I'm not nervous at all, Bob. The U will come down and win it tonight. Michael Irvin will pull out his belt.
Oh, boy.
On the sidelines, and that will be the end of it. And I will come in tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'll wait till Tuesday to Kenny come in here and to do my Ric Flair walk-in theme song.
There you go. Yeah.
Woo!
As you look for your second title here in our pick'ems, which would tie me, who I also got 2. But we're all, I think a lot of us are cheering for the text line, at least to keep it interesting here as we go about it. I did want to also tell people about just some of the news if you haven't seen it in the transfer portal. So I'll go pretty quick here with some of the names. Terrell, you can respond if you want to some of them. Ohio State's Bo Jackson, future with the program is in doubt, is reportedly asking for a big number. So look out for that. Arizona State running back Raleek Brown, a former All Big 12 pick, has transferred to Texas, which is important because Texas lost their top 3 running backs in the portal. So they figured out something there. Former Nebraska player Grant Seeger, an offensive tackle from Oklahoma State, going to Northwestern. Going to hope that Chip Kelly will give him an opportunity there. So that'll be interesting. Michigan signed kicker Trey Butkowski from Pitt. You might not know the name, but it's just, I think that is the name I would make up if you forced me to make up a name on the spot. I think it would be Trey Butkowski. So I thought that was kind of funny. Former Michigan quarterback Davis Warren transferring to Stanford. Wisconsin linebacker Christian Allegro transferring to Ohio State. Some Big Ten to Big Ten jump there. He has 8 career sacks. How about some of the all-name teams here? Scott Frost picking up Jonathan Slim Jim Bibbs, the wide receiver. Slim Jim Bibbs. Doesn't get much better than that from Louisiana Monroe. Malachi Nelson, former 5-star quarterback, started his career at USC. Was the UTEP quarterback last year. He has entered the transfer portal. No destination yet for him. Former Husker Vincent Carroll Jackson, who transferred to Connecticut, now transferring to Georgia Tech. Another good name here from FIU, defensive back Mr. Clark, transferring to Purdue. Isaac Wilson, Utah quarterback, transferring to Colorado. Michigan wide receiver Samaj Morgan, transferring to UCLA. A little bit of a rivalry here in Illinois. Defensive tackle Kurt Neal transferring to Purdue. That's not exactly, the Texas to Oklahoma move, but that is the old Oaken bucket on the line there. Anto Saka, a Northwestern edge rusher, has transferred to Texas A&M. And North Carolina quarterback Gio Lopez transfers to Wake Forest. And then the big one today, DJ Lagway. Baylor, yes. Interesting
All right.
one.
I kind of like DJ Lagway. I know he's not a good fit for us, but,
Look pretty turnover prone. Let's see if they can fix it up at Baylor.
All right, Bock, we got 3 NFL teams fighting for one guy. Your Cardinals, my Falcons, and Jake Sorensen, Miami Dolphins, will be fighting for that one good coach who got let go the other day by Baltimore.
Yeah, it was tough to see John Harbaugh. We talk about, all the no loyalty, all this sort of that. John Harbaugh, of course, led the Ravens to a title, and they were even the preseason favorites coming into this year. They come up just short because of their kicker against the Steelers, obviously, to making the playoffs. And because of that, after 18 years, John Harbaugh obviously out. That news a couple days ago. But still, yeah, there's a lot of NFL coaching openings. It'd be nice if it came down to one of our teams, but we'd be surprised if, some of the other teams, the Titans, the Browns, the Raiders, even the Giants might be interested in one of the best coaches, a Hall of Fame coach, one of the best coaches in NFL history. And then from there, you kind of question, what are the Ravens moving forward with Lamar Jackson? Is that, are they completely blowing it up? They just feel like that pairing wasn't working out because obviously under Harbaugh, they have only advanced past the divisional round only once since winning the Super Bowl 13 years ago. So that's what it's coming down to, is winning when it matters, and they're going to move off of him. But yeah, that's interesting. Also, trade in the NBA that I know a lot of people saw, but a big one last night, and Trae Young going from the Hawks to the Wizards.
Let him go.
Yeah,
we don't need it.
Gone.
Buck, one more thing. 5-star linebacker Cooper Witten is expected to commit to Oklahoma, who just hired his daddy, Jason Witten, as the tight end coach. Good pickup. Good coach.
Yes, I've heard of that Jason Witten character. He's done a thing or two at tight end before.
Oh, yeah. We like it. I like it. All right.
I just don't like Oklahoma, so I don't love it.
All right, Buck. We'll see you tomorrow here at 93.7 The Ticket. Hopefully, I won't be champion tomorrow. Hopefully, I have to put it off another week. But Bock the Blackshirt, thank you for listening to us. Jay Foreman and Austin Ormond up next with Old School.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Tomorrow is about the lessons we learn today. A farmer's market teaches us that community is grown together. Kids laughing shows us how joy is easy. And coffee on the porch reminds us to savor every moment. These are the lessons that shape a tomorrow we all share. One filled with trust, good company, and wide open dreams. That's the way banking should be. And that's Pinnacle Bank. Member FDIC.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-97